What's going on, guys? Welcome to another one of Black Iron's battles. Today we have a super cool custom mod battle for you. It's 3 versus 2. It's me, the Gobbo King in Nevada, using the Chaos Dwarfs with the Chaos Dwarf by Sleepy mod. And we are facing off against Turin and Italian Sparticus, who are using just a regular Dwarf army to defend the custom map of Karaz, Karak. Now, if you look here, that we do have quite a lot of units here that are charging the main causeway. This gatehouse is defended by the dwarfs right now. Additionally, they have got this this turret up here, or this tower, sorry. They've got it defended. They've got some goblobber and some slayers up here to protect the goblobber. So they should be able to do a little bit of damage to us as we approach on this main causeway. Up here in the front, you'll see we've got some of these new units, the Death Shrieker rocket launcher. We did bring some of those units just to go ahead and try to smash down this gatehouse. And luckily, he does not have a ton of fire coming from these 2 different defensive points. So we should be able to knock that gate down pretty much unopposed. Here in the front, to take any fire that comes out of that crazy door once we bust it down, is just a bunch of slaves. We've got some Orc Slaves. You see they've got a really low melee attack, 16, 14. They've got 15 armor. The Black Orc Slaves are a little bit stronger with 60 armor, but I mean, these slaves are just fodder units to soak up damage while the rest of our elite units advance. Over here on the left, you'll see we've got these cool Kadai Fireborn. They've got a magic attack, they've got a fire attack, I mean, 100 armor piercing. These are just super strong units, even though they don't have a ton of armor, so they will, and with their low defense, they will go down pretty easily. Over here on the left, you'll see we've got some bull centaurs. We've got the hero bull centaur with the spear. I mean, there's all sorts of cool units. Infernal guard. We've got lines of long shots here, which are the Chaos Dwarf ranged units. We've got more Infernal Guard. Here in the back, we've got some of these elite Ironsworn units. I mean, there is just tons of detail on this Chaos Dwarf by Sleepy mod. I mean, there is just a lot of different units. We do have just a lot of great weapon Chaos Dwarfs. We've got a bunch more Ironsworn here in the back. We've got more Chaos Dwarfs with great weapons. So, I mean, we used custom funds on this. You can see just tons of Chaos Dwarfs there. And so since we use customs funds, we do have quite large armies. If you look, I mean, it's about 7,000 troops that we brought. Here you'll see we do have a Taurus. That is a fire dragon. Oh, it has an AoE fire attack. And I mean, it should be able to get up in there, hopefully, and take out those slayers and that goblobber and free up that space here. Because as you can see, these slaves are already starting to take hits from the goblobber up there. Now, there is a second smaller gate here, which is still defended, it looks like, by Italian Sparticus. And we have a bunch of units here, but they are just weak units. So we wanted to send just a slave revolt. I mean, look at the Chaos Dwarves driving these slaves in front of them. There's ogre slaves. Look how big those are. They are actually got pretty good weapon strength, and they can do some damage if they get some hits on things. Additionally, there's like these cheap goblin slaves, black orc slaves. So we just have a whole slave army running down here. And they are followed up by some hobgoblin sneaky gits. These have armor piercing. They've got poison. I mean, they're actually not too bad for the Chaos Dwarf lines. And here in the back, you'll see we've got our main chunk. We've got a couple of bolt throwers. We've got a hobgoblin Khan, which is a pretty cool hero unit, kind of like a goblin big boss. But if you look here in the trees, this is our main fire stuff. We've got, look at this, 2 Kadai destroyers. I mean, those are beastly. They have 9,000 hit points. I mean, they're just doing a ton of damage. And we've got some bull centaurs. I mean, there is just a huge army waiting for once this slave revolt. If we can bust them through the gate, they're going to follow up with just a ton of damage. So here inside, you'll see the dwarfs have set up behind the door. They are ready for when we break through. And so you'll see here for Turin, he does have a bunch of ranged units. He's got an organ gun here in the back. He's got a group of dragonback slayers. He's got all of these miners and dwarf warriors. I mean, these miners it does look like, I mean, he's just got tons of bodies here. He's got the grumbling guard, the hammers, Peak Gate Guard over there. They're just ready. Look at all these thunderers and slayers. I mean, there's just a ton of damage ready to come at whatever busts through that door. If you look over here on the left, we do have some Longbeards with great weapons, and he does have some Iron Drakes. Now, these should be able to just do tons of AoE damage on the Chaos Dwarf units when they come through there. Over here on the right, you'll see there is a Skyhammer too. I'm not sure if that comes into a big play in this, but we'll go through the Dwarven Halls here. I mean, look at all the detail on this map. It is just so cool. And we'll see here, Italian Sparticus has also got an organ gun in the back. And I mean, he is defending this small gate with just exactly what you need. He's got some Thunderers. They're just really prepared. Warriors of the Dragonfire Pass there, just in case anything comes up these stairways. And I mean, there's just a ton. Look at all these Iron Breakers. I mean, the Nor Grimlings, which will have extra blasting charges. We've got Grombrindle here, and he has no fear. He's ready to hold this gate against anything that the Chaos Dwarves can throw at him. You'll see they've also got Ulthar's Raiders, those great weapon rangers. I mean, I love how they throw those axes. I mean, that is just super cool. So they should be able to do quite a lot of damage. You see here, these Ogre Slaves are charging right in the front. And since we've got a pretty good idea what's going on here, let's go ahead and get this battle started. Alright, so there is a charge going up there at the side gate, and we are starting to move all of these units here in the front gate. Look at this. I mean, there's just, oh god, that is so many units that are moving at once. I mean, there's just two, I mean, and here we go. They're about to start shooting with these Death Shriekers. These things are pretty cool. We'll have to move them up into place. But they should be able to, oh, look, watch that. Oh, man. Oh, there, that Goblobber is doing some damage. It is starting to nail these Black Orc Slaves. And, I mean, those are not cheap. They still did cost 500 gold. And it looks like we do have this Taurus up here. And since there's nothing really able to hit him, he's just hovering over here. And he is doing damage to those Slayers without even hitting him. Oh, let's follow this. Oh, look at that. Oh, dang. And it hit right. Look at that. They're all slamming into the dwarfs. That is not helpful. I'm sure they would rather those be hitting those actual units. But, I mean, with these slaves up here in front, hopefully we'll be able to soak up a lot of the damage from those artillery pieces. Now, here at the post gate, you'll see that they've already engaged. These slave ogres ran up in front here, and you'll see they're starting to hit this gate. And, I mean, they are not playing around. With this Hobgoblin Wolf Rider here, this gate is actually already at 25% damage. And I mean, look at those Thunders shooting from the top. But luckily, it's against slaves. So that was one big thing that we wanted to make sure to do as the Chaos Dwarves in this attack. Was we knew that the Dwarf Army, I mean, they've just got such strong ranged units. We knew for sure that they would have a ton of stuff ready to get us in these choke points. So we really wanted to try to soak up as much damage. Oh, look at those rockets come in and splatter down, and then there's fire down there. The Chaos Dwarves do not care about those slaves. Those things can die for all we care. That gate is half down. We're just going to hopefully do as much, you know, knock that thing down as quick as possible so we can get in there. Here in the side gate, we have managed to bust through, and look at, oh man, look at all of those charges coming at that gate. And but these slave ogres are going to come busting through, so look at that. Look at them still getting in. And I think that they're broken. Yeah, I mean, they're broken for sure. But even when they're routing, they're just, look at that. Look at them knock over those dwarf units. Those slave ogres are a cool addition. This Chaos Dwarf mod just has a ton of stuff. I mean, and look at these Black Orc Slaves are just getting nailed by these Thunders. It is a pretty tight squeeze over here on the postern gate. Alright, from behind you can see here that, I mean, he has still got a ton of stuff ready. He's still got these Iron Breakers ready. Oh, look at the Hounds of Genna. Chaos Dwarfs do have a lot of Lore Metal spells, and so we were using that as much as we could, even though you see it really doesn't do much damage. Oh man, look at these sneaky gits come through. They're going to take hits from both of these Iron Breakers. But it is, I mean, they're actually managing to get through. They're getting in here, and since they do have that armor piercing, they are cutting down a bunch of those Iron Breakers there, even though they're taking a lot of charges. Over here at the main gate, I believe that the battle has started. Oh, look at this. So that, yep, just like we planned, these slaves are over here, and they're starting to already take the hits. Look at, oh wow, look at those Iron Drakes just engulf those slaves. But luckily, I mean, these Black Orc slaves, I mean, they're not that weak. They're strong enough to actually take quite a few hits here, and I mean, they're already starting to waste a little bit of damage here. But I mean, the main attack is coming here behind. Look at this. I mean, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, that's 4 groups of long shots. I mean, we've got all of these Iron Sworn. We've got a Demon Smith. Yeah, I mean, Demon Smith Sorcerer. There is just all sorts of stuff. And I mean, even these Black Orc slaves are, oh, look at that Death Shrieker starting to shoot in there. That is a super cool effect it has. I mean, there's just a ton of charges are going to hit against these slaves, and that is definitely going to free up some space for our units coming in here. The more expensive units, hopefully, will not have to take as much damage. Over here in the back, you'll see finally they're starting to advance with these Kadai Destroyers and these Bull Centaur Renderers. They're going to come in here. We've got this gate open, and we are really starting to tear things up. If you look here, I mean, these hobgoblins and these slaves they're in here. They're actually fighting. I mean, the Nordgrimlings and the Ironbreakers, they'll be able to tank this for a long time. But as long as they keep holding, those units from the back here are going to get in here, and they are going to cause a lot of trouble. You can see here in the back, we do have some sneaky gits which have routed. And I mean, those should actually be able to help us out and get in the back of, oh man, look at those Hounds of Gena go again. And I mean, they are actually starting to knock around some of these Warriors of Dragonfire Pass, and I mean, look at them knocking them down like that. That is super cool. That is actually a really good Hounds of Gena animation. I have not seen one actually do that much damage. And I mean, look through here, through the gates. Look at just the sheer masses of slaves being driven before their Chaos Dwarf Masters. Over here at the main gate, the battle is really getting started. Look at those. That is those Kadai Fireborn charging in here. There is just explosions everywhere. These hammers are engaged. These miners with blasting charges engaged. And I mean, we are just, I mean, look, if you just see these artillery, these Death Shriekers, they have 25, and this one's got 36 kills. I mean, they're just slamming in through here. It is pretty cool. I mean, I think that the Chaos Dwarf units are balanced a little bit stronger than these typical Dwarf units. And I mean, we really did think that it would take 3 of us to take Turin and Italian Sparticus out of this Dwarven Hall. But you see here in the back, I mean, we have managed to shut down this organ gun. It has 148 kills, but luckily a lot of that was versus the slaves. And I mean, we've got this Taurus and these Centaurs back here. And even though the Centaurs have been surrounded by these Dragonback Slayers that are broken now, they were able to do a lot of disruption. Oh wow, look at those Thunderers shooting that Taurus. I mean, it has a ton of health though, and it's going to continue. Oh wow. Oh man. Those Bull Centaurs smashed into those miners. Oh, and here comes another group. And that was one thing, the Chaos Dwarfs do have a lot of these mobile Centaur units. So besides just having the very elite front line and having cool artillery, I mean, they just have all of these different cool units. I mean, if you see here, these long shots are in here. They're shooting. We've got these Iron Sworn are in here. They're holding tight. They've got 62 melee defense and 120 armor. They're going to be able to hold quite a long time against some of these weaker units. And the real pain for the dwarf units is just that we're here in the back. I mean, you see, even though this Bull Centaur is going to go down, he's going to take out quite a few of these Dragonback Slayers with him. You see here, I mean, the Thunderers are going to be shooting at him, and I mean, he'll go down pretty quick, but he can tank quite a bit. And during that time, we are just getting farther and farther into this back line. Now, if we go look over here on the side, I mean, the balance of power is starting to move into our favor a little bit. We still, you know, we only have 1,600 troops left. They have 2,000. So we're not sure, you know, I mean, the balance of power with these mods isn't always quite. I mean, look at these Ulthar's Raiders. They've already got 90 kills. They're going to be tossing axes in there. I think they actually may have just ran out. Yeah, look at that. They just ran out of ammunition. But I mean, the Bull Centaurs have actually managed to come through. These Kadai Fireborn are in here too somewhere, I believe. So I mean, there is just some. I think they're actually. Oh look, they're already moving into the main battle. Those Kadai Fireborn. But I mean, these Nord Grimlings, these units, we've got Grombrindle here. These units are going to continue fighting. They're going to continue trying to surround these Bull Centaurs. I mean, look at some shots coming in from the back up here. This organ gun's got 56. It's going to be able to shoot above the heads. And I mean, they're trying their very best to hold this gate. And I mean, they're doing a great job. We had like 1.5 units or 1.5 armies coming through that gate. And it is still holding. Over here in the main battle, you can see we finally got these Chaos Dwarf firing lines all lined up, and you'll see just tons of bullets coming in. I mean, you'll see the Taurus. I mean, this fire dragon has been, this fire Taurus, Bale Taurus, has been such a help to our Chaos Dwarf team. I mean, him being able to fly into the back here, and I mean, I'm pretty sure he took out the Skyhammer really quickly. And I mean, you see, watch this. Oh, these units are going to start routing. As this Kadai Destroyer gets in here, I mean, he's still almost full health, and he's pretty much gonna be just smashing through. He's got a huge amount of mass, so he'll just be smashing through these dwarven units as he comes in from behind. Oh, look at that! You can just see him even from all this way. You can see him jumping in and smashing units around him. You can see here this Taruk, this Bull Centaur. I mean, he's trying to fight off. Oh, look at the Death Shrieker come in there. That is just for 4th of July. It might as well be. That is causing huge amounts of damage. Zatan the Black's in here. He's gonna start. I mean, he's fighting. Look at that. I mean, this is just tons of carnage. But I mean, Thorgrim. I mean, oh look, he is not gonna last forever. He's really got. I mean, he's still got 1,200 health. But I mean, he is just taking continual damage. It looks like he's wavering. He's probably gonna break if Zatan gets in there. And I mean, this dwarven line, this front line, I mean, they were just the sheer numbers of Chaos Dwarfs, I think, were just able, besides these Death Shrieker, I mean, look at that, 68 kills, 50, look at that. I mean, it just got like 10 kills with that shot. You know, it was really able to just smash into any clumped up. Look at that, they just knocked off the Thunders. And the mobility also from those Centaurs, I think, was really helpful. If you look over here, it looks like the battle's pretty much done on the left side. We've still got some units trying to retreat. We've got Ulthar's Raiders. We do have this group of Thunderers up here on the top. But, I mean, look, they're almost out of ammo. So, I mean, they're not really going to be putting up much of a defense. He does have Grombrindle here and a Runesmith who are together. And so, maybe they'll be able to kill off a few more of the Chaos Dwarf units. Maybe they'll try to retreat and see if they can hold... as long as they can, hold their hometown before losing it to the Chaos Dwarves. You'll see here that there are a bunch of capture points. I mean, look at this Hall of Dwarven Kings. This is just, I mean, there's just so many cool things in this map. I mean, these custom maps and these custom mods with these super cool units. I mean, watch this Kadai Destroyer come in here. I mean, he's just going to be sending units flying. I mean, look at that. Oh, he just charged through. I mean, that is pretty cool. They have just, I mean, there's just so many different things. But I mean, there is not, I mean, look at this, the balance of power is heavily in our favor. We've got 950 units remaining. They've only got 500 and it's dropping quickly. So, I mean, they may try to put up a defense here. Let's go ahead and fast forward for a second. There's not really much left that's going to happen. But we have got these Bull Centaurs here in the back. I mean, here is the final halls of the Dwarven Lords. If they're going to try to make a last stand. Oh, it looks like they are going to make a last stand here. Oh, man. Grombrindle was able to kill that Bull Centaur. Look at that. I mean, see, I mean, since all we had over here was slaves, the leadership is not that great. They were able to scare them off with these warriors of Dragonfire Pass, and I mean, I'm charging in here these Bull Centaurs, but I mean, look at, I mean, they all have such little health left. I mean, he charged in there. Oh, and it looks like these Ironbreakers still had a few satchels left. Oh, and you see it just chasing him from behind. These Nord Grimlings, they'll be able to hold down a little bit, but oh, look at the size difference between those. Oh, those are between those Centaurs. I mean, you'll see Ulthar's Raiders charging in there. I mean, there's, oh man, look in the back here though. There's a ton more Centaurs coming. These two groups, I mean, look, this one's pretty much full health, 45 kills. This one's got 81. It's up to a silver chevron. So, I mean, even though he is making this final last stand here, I don't think that it's gonna work. I mean, 600 to 400, but I think a lot of their units are broken. Let's go ahead and speed it up here. Oh man, these bull centaurs finally, it looks like they shattered the Ulthar's raiders. But that is, the dwarves still have a few more charges in their pocket. Look at them throw those in. But I mean, these fresh bull centaurs they're pretty much going to finish off this battle before a lot of these other units can even make it. But we've got a ton of Chaos Dwarf units remaining. These Inferno Guard long shots, they still have a ton of ammo left. I mean, look at them marching in there. That vanguard of bull centaurs was just, I mean, I think it was plenty to take out what's remaining. And so since you'll see the units are starting to shatter, this group of Thunders is going to break. I mean, they've taken tons of losses. I mean, they started off with thousands of units, and we got down to the end there. Grombrindle is still alive. It was a great battle. That was a fun. I mean, if it was just a 2-on-2, I do not think we would have been able to take that keep. Let's go ahead and look at this post-game wrap-up. And I mean, you can see here. First off, we'll go with me. I mean, I lost pretty much everything. I mean, these slaves were meant to be taken down, but my heroes here, look at this bull centaurs, were both taken down. I mean, they got into the back lines and caused a lot of havoc, but I was lucky that my buddies all had plenty of heroes left, so they were able to bolster my leadership. But I mean, look at the kills here. There's just a ton of kills spread across. These Kadai Fireborn had 90, but like I said, I mean, these only had 9, so they are very weak. So if they take a lot of, I mean, they have low melee defense, and they don't have a lot of armor. So, you know, these are the epitome of glass cannon elite infantry. We were able, I mean, these bull centaurs, they were able to get in the back lines there, and we were just able to do a ton of damage to the range units and stuff. But I mean, look at the kills on the dwarfs. The Gobbo King, I mean, he kept his leadership alive. He was able to charge in through the back there. I mean, with the Kadai destroyers, 120 kills on this one. This one was actually taken out, only 40 kills. But I mean, across these units, there was just hundreds and hundreds of kills for fighting against the dwarves. And our buddy Nevada here, he had tons and tons of Chaos Dwarf warriors. I mean, look at this. Each one of those was killed, but I mean, that provided lots and lots of fodder. A lot of these heavy blasting charges and heavy dwarf units were able just to break on these fodder units, and it allowed his Death Shriekers just to rack up some kills. I mean, the bull centaurs and these long shots, look at that, 200 kills with that group of long shots. I mean, that is a ton of kills to get against a dwarven army. I mean, there's just a ton of kills all over. I mean, but look, we took like, you know, 2,700 losses as well. So if you look at Italian Sparticus over here, he was the one defending the gate on the right. And I mean, these peak gate guard, these iron breakers, they were able to get hundreds. I mean, those groups of thunders that were on top of the gates, they pretty much just shot until their guns were out of ammo. These iron breakers, look, hundreds and hundreds of kills. But I mean, a lot of that was against these slaves, which come in high model units. And so I mean, even though they did get tons of kills, a lot of these elite centaur units were still remaining. And I mean, when those slave ogres knocked down that gate, I think that really helped us against Italian Spartacus. For Turin here as Do It, he was able to get a bunch of kills, but I think his units were a little bit close together. So I think, I mean, if you look here, those Iron Drakes only got 9 kills. They were shooting at some slaves, but I feel like we were able to get our mobile units and our slave units in there really fast, and kind of tear him up from behind and just mess with his game plan quite a bit. You'll see here, Thorgrim got about 12 kills, and we saw him battling in the back. He got surrounded, and there was just, I mean, he was just fighting against 3 players with 2 players. We put a heavy presence in that front gate where Turin was defending. And the organ gun and the goblobber, they just weren't able to soften us up quite enough as if, you know, they would have if they wanted to pull off a victory at that front gate. That was a great game. I just wanted to make sure and show it to you guys just because I had so much fun. I had so much fun with that Chaos Dwarf mod by Sleepy. That map was super cool, and I just want to say great game to my my allies Gobbo King in Nevada. Great game to my opponents Italian Sparticus and Turin. I want to thank you guys all so much for watching. Please subscribe below for more great content. This has been Black Iron, and thanks for watching another one of Black Iron's battles.